Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Code webinar. Yeah, this is the June edition, and yes, this month we'll be talking about getting global opportunities in tech. Okay, so a quick summary on Beyond the Code. We started early this year, and we were concerned about bringing topics that are not really discussed in the tech space, especially non-technical discussions, and bringing that to people live, bringing experienced panelists and discussing with them, give them tips and stuff. And we have been enjoying it. People have been taking the webinar serious, and tips from there. People have been applying it. We've been getting testimonials right and there. So it's a good reason for us to continue. And yeah, this month we're having the webinar today. So yes, we have our guests. They are ready to give us some global tips on this tech thing. And yeah, we'll be starting right now. So first we have Sandrava with us. Yes, she's a software engineer and a technical writer at Yoko. And we're really glad to have her because now quite tricky this month's preparation has been, but we're really glad to have them here. And also we have Biyi Adetunji, is a UI UX designer with booking.com. So, I'll be inviting them, asking questions, bringing them up and asking questions. I hope you are set for this. So, and don't forget to subscribe and share the link with your friends, because yeah, as a tech friends, tech bros, everybody wants to enjoy the part where they get global opportunity. So don't forget to subscribe, and think you should share with your friends. Okay, I'll be bringing Sandrava up. Yeah, welcome, Sandrava. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we're glad to have you here. And
Well,
sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I'm glad as well to be here.
Okay. Okay, so we should get straight right to it, right?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, going straight to the topic thing, we wanted to share what your experience has been when it comes to working with international organizations. I want to believe that the scope might be quite different to local or Nigerian startups. So I want to know your experience on how it has been.
Um, Overall, it's been a lot better, I would say, than working for Nigerian companies, mostly because of the culture and the community, the people, and the opportunities it brings working with different international companies. And then you can afford to have work and life balance as well. It's just been pretty amazing. Am I supposed to dive deep into the differences?
We would love you to dive deep.
Should I?
Yes, yes, yes. We would love you to dive deep.
Oh, okay. All right then. So let's start with culture then. It's more, I always say this, working with international companies, they're usually a lot more laid back than Nigerian companies, because it's more like Nigerian companies, they want to just work you out, right? You have to do this, you have to do 1,000 other things while working in one role, and then you're being paid a tiny amount of money that would not last you for the entire month. But working with international companies, and when I say international, not underdeveloped international companies, talking about developed international companies, because there are some countries that you work with and you still be forced to work as much as you do in Nigeria, or even more, and you'll be earning little as well. So the culture is there. Everybody is always willing to help. You, I think the companies I work for, you can simply send a message to even the CEOs to have a quick meeting. So nobody is like an island of knowledge. Anybody can help you, regardless of their role in the company. And when we talk about, what else did I say? Opportunities. Yes, you don't have to wait 10 years before you're promoted. You can just start a role, and then in the next Less than a year, in fact, you can be promoted into another role. And the opportunities that you get working for international companies is just amazing. I don't think there's a limit really, because you can move from one role to another without them trying to play politics. Of course, there are companies that would do that, but most of them will not. The ones I've worked with, I've not seen anyone play politics. If you can show them that you're good at work at what you do, then fine. You can go straight into another. If you even if you tell them that you're passionate about this role instead, somewhere along the line, they would build your career path to follow through, to follow what it is that you want. Currently I work with Yoko, and I'm telling them I want to transition from software engineer into another role, and they are giving me tasks, that that is as tasks that are associated with my career path. So every time they're asking me, okay, where have you gotten to? What have you learned? How far? Where are we in this your career path that we have? What's the word now? That we have established, right? So it's everybody's always they're just amazing set of people. And work-life balance, of course, working international companies, especially remotely, is super good because you don't have to stay in the office all day. You can work from home, and if you need to take a quick walk around, you can do that, and nothing is stopping you. Just say that, oh, I'm about to, and I want to take a quick walk, and nobody is stressing your life. You're just enjoying yourself, doing what you love to do.
To know.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, yes, yes. Really loved where you dived in and obviously mentioned different experiences. So I would push the same question to B right now. B,
Hi. Yes, can you
okay.
hear me?
Yes, can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here. Sandrava mentioned some things which I'm also going to delve deep into. But to start off, why international company and why, especially from the perspective of a product designer or a software person or um, a technical person, right? I'll start off with this quote from Jay-Z, and he said, "It is not about being rich and famous, it's about using your God given abilities to the fullest," right? And if you want to use your abilities as a software developer to the fullest in the world as it is today, you have to be working in a company that has a lot of software products being built, you know, that has a scope of building software that is reaching billions of people across the globe. And that is the only time that you've like really maximized your ability as a UX designer or a whatever topic it is or whatever discipline you are in this software space, right? And for me, that's the motive. That's why I chose to go the path of working with an international brand. Also, it's so what how does that now change me as an individual? This because the scope is different, the audience I'm reaching out to is different, the way I think about my work is different, the skills that I need to learn to think about my work is different. So that way, if I look back at when I used to build softwares and products and web in Nigeria compared to now, a lot has changed, from the way I interact with people, the way I understand the problem. I mean, in Nigeria, probably building software, and I'm thinking, oh, this website we're building is for Nigerians, and we assume all of them speak English. They're either Yoruba or Hausa. But right here at Booking, I'm thinking, well, I'm building this website or this page or whatever it is, and I'm thinking it could land on anybody's phone across the globe. The person might be speaking Swahili or another person Arabic, and the person might be in Russia, the person might be black like me or white, or there's so much variation in what where it could get to, and as such, I have to start thinking in that light. So that's how it has changed me. But in terms of the perks again that comes with it is that the laws protect you better when you're working with international brand, because the countries have better labor laws, and the companies apply those laws to you, even if you're um, a foreign citizen working for them locally or remotely. So they can't just fire you at will. I mean, in the case of Netherlands, no one can fire you at will. The law protects you against things like that. There is also, they are obligated to pay you decently. Like minimum wage in Nigeria is, I think, 18,000 naira. But an international company would not pay you the minimum wage in Nigeria. They would look at it from a global lens and say, well, we pay our developers in, I don't know, San Francisco X amount. Maybe because you're in Africa, your cost of living is not so high. We can take a little bit off it, but they will still pay you decent. So all those things are I feel like that the perks that you get from working with an international brand. There's also the popularity and that it gives to your portfolio, right? If you work with a big brand, notable brand around the world, when applying for your next job, it's easier because they look at it and say, oh, you've done this for IBM, Microsoft, Facebook. Oh, so that means you're probably able to do it for us too. So yeah, I mean, there's countless reasons why I think as a developer or as a designer, you want to take on that next challenge. But these are some that I could just think off the top of my head. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, B. Really, really appreciate the knowledge, and I'll still be throwing this next question to you, B. Okay, so gathering from those, the perks that I just mentioned, now it looks very lucrative and everybody wants to go there. So I'll try to bring this question from two perspectives. Now, one, for a techie right now, how should that person position his or herself to get those opportunities? And also, what do these these international companies, what do they look for, especially when it comes to getting international getting international resource persons like developers from other countries? What do they look for specially, like, in that? So I'll be trying that to be again.
So I cannot generally say for everyone what they look for, but I'll say from my perspective, from the experience I have and the way it worked for me and it worked for a bunch of people around me. I'm sure after saying this, some people might have some extra things to add, but this is generally the way it works, right? When a recruiter is looking for someone, they have a specification they are coming with. So they go to LinkedIn, for instance, and they're searching. They want to know some basic things that the craft, first of all. So I'm going to assume that everybody that is even looking to get hired for an international role already knows the craft reasonably well. Then they want to look at, do you speak well? I mean, in English, can you communicate very well? So it's a very, very important factor. We can't overemphasize that. And often because we have a different accent from what a lot of people are used to. We're Africans, so our accent is different from them. And also remember that some of these people might have never had any close encounter with an African before. So they might have not had any reason to talk to an African. So they're really new to your accents. So you want to learn how to communicate in a way that is internationally acceptable. The next thing is you want to know working principles like Agile or Scrum. You want to understand things like that. You want to know what the latest softwares and tools in your industry is. You want to know the best practices. These are the things that, from a recruiter perspective, they will generally ask. The next part of this that I think is very important is most companies hiring are usually large size companies. So they also want to test that you've worked in a reasonably large size team before. So that means they want to learn your behavior with your teammates. How do you settle disputes? How do you make your opinions heard? And how do you behave in a team without, pissing anybody off? So by testing that, they are also looking at your resume and saying, what companies have you worked in Nigeria before, or wherever you are in Ghana, whatever African country you're in, do they have a large enough team, and they want to kind of guess how you behave with those teams. Remember that they don't know these companies, right? They don't know the companies in Africa. Oftentimes they don't know, but they want to trust in the information you're giving them. So during interview, you want to come across as legitimate as possible, because any red flag would be a turn off for them. So if I am hiring someone across the world, miles away, I am a bit skeptical because I don't know what I would expect. And I assume that most recruiters or most hiring managers are also thinking in that light. So they want to test that you're genuine with all the information you're giving. They want to see that you are someone that they can work with easily, and you can blend into their own team. I mean, again, this is also very important. You can be very good at your craft. You can work with some kind of team, but you might not be a good fit for their own team. So that is also something they are looking out for. They have a structure that they have put in place in their team. They want to see if you fit that structure. Thank you.
You've answered the first part, like a techie. How do the person position his or herself to be able to
Okay.
fit those global
Okay.
opportunities?
Yeah, thank you. So one of the fastest way to do it is, first, again, the craft, right? Be part of a community. Know what people are doing. I was working somewhere in Nigeria before I got my international opportunity, and it was because I was just moving with the guys, and okay, this guy just got a job in this place, this guy just got a job out of the country. I'm like, dude, how are you guys doing it? How can I do it too? And I had these conversations with people, and I put out a plan for it. So I put out a 1-year plan. And what was in my plan? For my own case as a designer, you need a strong portfolio. So how do you get a strong portfolio? Go around the world, a web, see what other strong designers in that role are doing with their portfolio. Learn it, look at the body of work they have, try to find ways of working on similar projects or that kind of body of work, or presenting your own work in that way. Next to that, you want to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool. Again, I'm not trying to market LinkedIn, but you cannot overemphasize how LinkedIn works. I'm currently working on a project with a multinational, and they are looking to hire over 80,000 people this year. And one of their strong strategy for redesigning their website is how it would, channel well with getting candidates from LinkedIn into their websites. So LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool. One thing you can also consider is going premium on your LinkedIn. With premium, you stay afloat in searches. So again, it gives you more opportunities. More people reach out to you. Because more people reach out to you, you can learn which one you want to go with in time. You would have a lot of choices to choose from. Then what's the next thing I wanted to ask? I want to add to this. Sorry, I have forgotten my train of thought. But yeah, that's the general thing that I would say. And do as much interview as you can. Like sometimes you would lose some, learn from it. Wherever, if you get to the first stage and they drop you off on the first stage, write that down, move on to the next stage, move on to another one. Whatever stage you get to, learn from it as much as you can. Get to ask recruiters or hiring managers, what did I do wrong? Why are you guys not taking me? Sometimes they would give you like really valuable information. They might tell you, well, we think you're not communicating very well, or your portfolio is not strong enough. Whatever it is, it's a feedback that you can work on and improve yourself with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, B. Really appreciate. Okay, so well, moving to Sandra right now. Okay, so Sandra, same question. Can Sandra hear me? Sandra.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So just to be clear, question is how to position yourself for international opportunities,
Yes.
and what else?
And what do
What
international
recruiters look for?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me start with what recruiters are looking for. I think B has said a lot about what international companies want in an applicant, a successful applicant for that matter. And I think for me, it depends on which company you're applying to. As B said, cultural fit is important for it for most of these companies, except maybe they are just starting and they're looking for somebody with skills and experience. So sometimes as I said, it depends on what the company is looking for at the end of the day. For me, I wanted, it also depends on what it is you're looking for. Of course, there are remote opportunities, and then there are those that would require you to relocate to another country, just like BE. And for those that would require relocation, their requirements are going to be different in some way, because they want, before they can invest in you in your relocation, they want to know that you have enough experience and you're going to do the job well. Because of course, if you move into another country and you can't do the job, they just can't fire you like that because of their laws, like B said. So for me, I can only talk about my case, which is remote, right? And remote without relocation. And for me, it's just the first thing that I feel like international companies need are skills. You can't get anywhere without skills, and that's the fact. It doesn't matter if you have um what less than a year experience. You just need to have that skills, and you need to be able to show your skills, right? And they also want somebody who is confident in the work they have done. Because if you have all these projects that you've worked on, these very interesting projects, and you cannot convince them that you actually worked on them, then what's the point? They will not even believe you at all. They want somebody that if it's a small company, you don't, I'm not sure because if it's a big company, of course you have to work on conflict matters. There's no way you'll not be in a conflict with one of your team members or something. So if it's a small, for me, I like startups, right? Because I feel like they're always hungry for talent, and you can wear different hats at different points in time. That's why I like startups. They are very, for me, they are a very good place to grow. Um, so recruiters in those companies will be looking for skills. They will be looking for experience as well. They would prefer experience. But even if you don't have experience, that doesn't mean you cannot still be in the run for that role. But skills is important. You need to be able to showcase your skill. And as B said, LinkedIn is terribly important, especially if you're just starting, because I don't want to say every company. Let me just say 90% of the companies I've applied to would always look through my LinkedIn, even though it is not up to par, but at least just to I try to keep it as up to date as it should be. But most of them I would just see that notification. Somebody viewed your profile, and I know that, or somebody in this particular company viewed your profile if they've decided to hide themselves from me. So your LinkedIn is important. And whether you're a designer, I know, there are different roles in tech, right? I don't know. For designers and engineers, it can be fairly easy to showcase your work. But for people like product managers, I don't know how you can showcase your work. I don't know anything about I don't know anything about showcasing how you manage products, but I'm just going to talk for engineers and designers. You need to have a portfolio of the work you've done, including writers too. If you want to become a writer, you need to have a sample. You need to have samples of work you've done, portfolios of your designs and projects you've worked on. Those two, I don't know if there are two or three. I don't remember. But all I said, you need to have those. Those are like your first, these are like your stepping stone into even getting that first call with the recruiter. And then once you have that first call, and then they see that through their conversation with you, they see that you can actually be part of the team because you're a cultural fit, and you say you are who you are. You have as many experience, I mean, as many years of experience as you said you have. Then they can move you. Of course, you know that you can drop off at any level of the at any stage of the recruitment process. So once you're able to scale through that first interview, then you have to show that you actually have the skills. For software engineer, of course, you might have to do coding challenges, take home coding challenges, or live coding challenges. So that all boils down to you. But what is going to get you in the door, your presence. If it's LinkedIn, Twitter, of course, you can also use Twitter. Twitter is an amazing tool as well for techies. Even if you don't particularly have LinkedIn, just show them that you have a presence online where you, how do I put it? Just show them that you have some sort of presence online, right? So if it's LinkedIn, if it's Twitter that you want to use, I would say you should use both and keep your presence online so that they know that people know you as well for what it is you do. Don't go and use your personal email where you're talking trash, and your personal Twitter where you're talking trash. It's not going to work for you. So if you have a personal email, please watch what it is you say, because some companies also factor that in. So skills, presence, and experience, I think, yeah, that will get you in the door. And confidence, yes, let me not forget that. Those things will get you in the door if you want to if you're looking for roles in international companies. The next one, how to position yourself for jobs. Oh, I already said it now. It's everything all together, right? Did I miss something?
No, you didn't. I was going to say that you have kind of mixed both of them together, and it was
Yes.
nicely answered for both. Thank you so much, Sandrava. And well, before you go, still have one more question for you. Okay, we love you to answer this from your personal point of view. So, the experience personally for you, how has it been? Like the move. Now we are talking based on you right now. How has the move been, the transitioning from the Nigerian startups and the move into international startups? How has it been personally on everything, your relationships, your skills, and stuff like that? So, I'd like to know.
Me first? Oh yeah, me first. Um, the funny thing is that my move to tech started mostly I mean my first paid role, first full-time role in tech was at an international company, right? So before tech, while I was even if all through tech, it was all remotely, right? Even though I worked for Nigerian companies for like a month or two, it was all remotely. So it was uh, but how do I even say this? It's been great. I mean, I will not go back to work for any Nigerian company, even if it's Facebook or Google or whatever. So far, I have to go to the office and see people, and have to move around at Lagos to get to the office. I'm not interested. So it's really, for me. I love my life the way it is. I love that I can stay home and work. Um, Relationship wise, my relationship with people has taken a dive down, because I used to be a very happening person, but now I'm just stuck inside, stuck with my computers and coding all day or writing all day. So I don't really have friends anymore. Um, but I can't say I'm not better for it. Like, you're better when you are indoor because you don't have to spend money or do unnecessary things or meet unnecessary people and get yourself angry or whatnot. So it's been good. The friends that I've kept since college days are still with me, the most important ones, anyways. Um, Work-wise, I've learned a whole lot that I wouldn't have been able to learn if I was working for a Nigerian company, if I'm being honest, because you get to meet people who are terribly, terribly better at what you do, and you learn from them. And the fact that they are always willing to help without that thought that master slave or I'm better than you, can figure it out yourself, or what, that they are just always willing to help. So the fact having to work with those kind of people who are terribly more experienced than you, uh uh it's just, that whole experience is just a great one for me. So it's been amazing, and I don't see myself leaving this international company vibe anytime soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandrava. That was some experience. Okay, so I want to say thank you very much, Sandrava, for coming. No, I really enjoyed your session because you gained one or two from your experience, and I think everybody else following gained one or two from it. So thank Biyi too, though he has left, he had something to do. So I want to say thank you very much for this session. We really enjoyed it. It was really, really nice. And for the actionable tips that you gave, obvious things like updating your LinkedIn, the confidence. I think that one for me is something I should take hold of. So the confidence part, be open to a lot of interviews and developing your skills. So we really appreciate you coming, Sandrava, and we appreciate our viewers too. It was, I know everybody has gained a lot. See, the comment section is filled up, and it's quite nice. So I want to say thank you, and we don't want you to forget that obviously this is a monthly thing. So next month we'll be back with a new panelist and a better topic to talk about and stuff like that. So I want you to subscribe to the channel and share. You can still watch it again because personally I watched it like twice. Our past sessions has been great, and this one definitely I'm still going to watch it again. So I think you should watch it again and should gain more, on the tips that these panelists have given us, and I know you're going to enjoy it and so going to learn. So thank you so much. We hope to have you next month. Thank you so much. The team at Webbo says thank you and have a blessed day.